Assalamu alaikum YouTube, this is Saeed Mirza. In today's video I wanted to look at the special stone called the Hajar al-Aswad in the Kaaba, which is located in Makkah, Saudi Arabia. And I wanted to look at the article from Wikipedia that discusses this stone. And I also wanted to bring 3 verses of the Qur'an to your attention that have a specific word called nusubun, which is usually translated as altar or idol. When if you look into the Quran's usage of it, you will see that it is a more general word, and it definitely includes in it any raised structure or monument to which is venerated or worshipped or considered of a special significance. And by that yardstick, the Kaaba in Makkah, Saudi Arabia is a nusub, and it is an idol which we are to stay away from because it is from the handiwork of Satan, and it is a defilement. Now, before I begin, I wanted to let you know I'm still working on my book. God willing, it should be available for sale by the end of next month. Obviously, it's been pushed back because I still needed to think about some points and polish my presentation. Now, I wanted to start out this presentation by reciting to you a verse from the Quran. This is chapter 66, verse 6, and this is the Saheeh International. And the reason for me using this translation, the Saheeh International translation, is because I wanted to show you from the traditionalist presentation that the sort of the twisting that they have to do in regards to the word nusbun, and also that I am not accused of changing the meanings of the words in the Quran to prove my point. So this is chapter 66, verse 6. O you who have believed, protect yourselves and your families from a fire whose fuel is people and stones, over which are, open bracket, appointed, close bracket, angels, harsh and severe. They do not disobey Allah in what He commands them, but do what they are commanded. Now, this word and stones in Arabic is wal-Hijaratu, which is a plural for the word hijr. And the black stone, which is encased in the Kaaba in Makkah, Saudi Arabia, is called the al-Hajar al-Aswad. Now, I wanted to read some of the excerpts from the Wikipedia article, and I will be giving you a link below so you can read the full article. To begin, the black stone, Arabic al-Hajar al-Aswad, is a rock set into the eastern corner of the Kaaba, the ancient building in the center of the Grand Mosque in Makkah, Saudi Arabia. It is revered by Muslims as an Islamic relic which, according to Muslim tradition, dates back to the time of Adam and Eve. And whenever they're using Muslim tradition, they're meaning the hadith, because none of this is in the Quran. To continue, the stone was venerated at the Kaaba in pre-Islamic pagan times. According to Islamic tradition, it was set intact into the Kaaba's wall by the Islamic prophet Muhammad in 605 Common Era, 5 years before his first revelation. Since then, it has been broken into fragments and is now cemented into a silver frame in the side of the Kaaba. Its physical appearance is that of a fragmented dark rock polished smooth by the hands of pilgrims. Islamic tradition holds that it fell from heaven as a guide for Adam and Eve to build an altar. It has often been described as a meteoroid. Muslims pilgrims circle the Kaaba as part of the Tawaf ritual during the Hajj, and many try to stop to kiss the black stone, emulating the kiss that Islamic tradition records that it received from Muhammad. Muslims do not worship the black stone. And as I have said in many places in my talks, that we are not interested in what people are saying. We are interested in their actions and what they are doing. And that's just a life lesson that I've learned, and you can apply it to any sphere. So I'm going to read a little bit from the history and tradition section. The Semitic cultures of the Middle East had a tradition of using unusual stones to mark places of worship, a phenomenon which is reflected in the Hebrew Bible as well as the Quran, although bowing to or kissing such sacred objects is repeatedly described in the Tanakh as idolatrous and was the subject of prophetic rebuke. And you might be reminded, it says in the Ten Commandments that thou shalt not have any graven images. So the Arabs, because of their intelligence and their cunning, were able to sidestep this issue by having um, idols that did not have any faces or hands or arms. Okay. The meteorite origin theory of the black stone has seen it likened by some writers to the meteorite which was placed and worshipped in the Greek temple of Artemis. Because you have to understand that stone worship is not anything new. It has been practiced across many centuries, across many cultures, across many cults, and that is exactly why in the Quran, God warns us about the fire whose fuel are men and stones. Okay, it keeps going on and on about a lot of things here, and you can read this at your own leisure. Desecrations. The stone has suffered repeated desecrations and damage over the course of time. It is said to have been struck and smashed to pieces by a stone fired from a catapult during the Umayyad Caliphate's siege of Makkah in 683. Now, question is, why would the Caliph decide to destroy this stone? Okay, ritual role. The black stone plays a central role in the ritual of Istislam when pilgrims kiss the black stone, touch it with their hands, or raise their hands towards it while repeating the takbir, God is greatest. They perform this in the course of walking 7 times around the Kaaba in a counterclockwise direction, tawaf, emulating the actions of Muhammad. At the end of each circuit, they perform istilam and may approach the black stone to kiss it at the end of tawaf. So I think it's pretty clear what's going on in Makkah, Saudi Arabia, especially in regards to this black stone. Now, this black stone is housed in the Kaaba, which is a cuboid structure. And this Kaaba is a focal point of the Muslim ritual prayer, which they conflate with the Salat in the Qur'an. And if you want more information about that, I suggest you look at Brother Gerrans' work, The Quran, A Complete Revelation. He has discussed this issue at length about what the real meaning of Salat is. But what I wanted to do was bring to your attention 3 verses from the Quran that use a specific word, nusubun. And this word, like I've said, is usually translated as altars or idols. But the sense from the Quran is that it could be any monument, any structure which is taken, which is venerated, and which is part of a ritualistic practice, which is exactly what the Kaaba is. And this is again the Saheeh International Translation, chapter 5, verse 3. Prohibited to you are dead animals, blood, the flesh of swine, and that which has been dedicated to other than Allah, and open bracket those animals, close bracket, killed by strangling or by a violent blow or by a headlong fall or by the goring of horns, and those from which a wild animal has eaten, except that you, open bracket, are able to, close bracket, slaughter, open bracket, before its death, close bracket, and those which are sacrificed on stone altars. And, open bracket, prohibited is, close bracket, that you seek decision through divining arrows. That is grave disobedience. This day those who disbelieve have despaired of, open bracket, defeating, close bracket, your religion. So fear them not, but fear me. This day I have perfected for you your religion, and completed my favor upon you, and have approved for you Islam as religion. But whoever is forced by severe hunger, with no inclination to sin, then indeed Allah is forgiving and merciful. Now, this specific word, nusubun, which we saw here, and those which are sacrificed on stone altars, wama zubiha ala nusubun. We read in Lane's Lexicon, when I'll provide the link for this below as well, nusubun, as occurring in Quran, chapter 5, verse 4. Obviously, he's including the Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim in his verse count, so his verse count is one ahead of what this one is. So, but he's obviously citing this specific verse. Signifies an idol or a stone which the pagan Arabs set up to sacrifice or slay animals before it or by it, and which became red with the blood. And obviously he's getting his material from the Muslims at his time. Let's look at another verse where this word is used. Chapter 5 verse 90. O you who have believed, indeed intoxicants, gambling, open bracket, sacrificing on, close bracket, stone altars, open bracket, to other than Allah, close bracket, and divining arrows are but defilement from the work of Satan, so avoid it that you may be successful. So here also there is an entry in Lane's Lexicon. He does not cite this specific verse, but he's using the same word, al-ansab, which is used in this verse. Okay, and he's saying al-ansabu, certain stones which were set up around the Kaaba, over which it was customary for the name of some deity to be pronounced in the killing of animals, and upon which victims were slain and sacrificed to another or others than the true God. Now here we have in chapter 70 verse 43. This is the last occurrence of this word, nusubun. And we read in the Qur'an, it says, the day they will emerge from the graves rapidly as if they were, towards an erected idol hastening. This is the same translation. So here now he switched to erected idol, not altars. But here, because it's saying that this is talking about the judgment day, that they will all emerge from the graves, all the dead people will be given life, and they will all race. They will all race as if they were racing towards an erected idol. Kannahum ila nusubun. So it has to be something that is visible from far away. It's a goalpost, and this is exactly what any structure, and for instance the Kaaba is. The Kaaba is a raised monument. It's a goalpost which can be seen from far away. Again, the obelisk is a classic example of this as well. Okay, and he has an entry. Lane's Lexicon has an entry for this word, nusubun. A sign or mark set up to show the way, or a standard set up. Standard as in, in battle you have a flag carrier who is a standard to which all the troops rally around. And he also has an entry for nasbun, what is set up and worshipped to the exclusion of or in preference to the true God, or anything that is so worshipped, or a stone that is set up and so worshipped. The plural of nusubun is ansabun. So this is a pretty hard evidence from the Quran itself that the word nusubun is used as any monument, any structure which is revered besides God, as taken up and is a focal point of a ritualistic structure. And this is why in the Quran God has warned us that these are all handiworks, defilement of Satan, and that we are to stay away from them. So whatever the arguments Muslims want to use, the fact of the matter is that if we look in the Quran and how this word is used, and even if we take their own translations, and then we look at what the Muslims are doing during their paganistic ritual, which is the Hajj, or their Salat, then they are taking this stone, this cuboid structure, as a nusub, and they are worshipping it, whatever their claims may be otherwise, and that the believers are told to stay away from this filth. So, God willing, I hope this was of some use to those of you who are still on the fence about what the Kaaba is about, and whether it has any significance for the believers. And you should do your own research, your own due diligence, and arrive at your own conclusions, and do share this information with other questioning Muslims, and that what their ancestors were doing was pagan worship. And now that we know what it is, God has opened up the knowledge again, that we should stay away from this sort of filth. Inshallah, until next video, peace and blessings be upon you.